Welcome back to another CGR Lap of Awesome. This is Assetto Corsa on the PlayStation 4, and I'm driving the Lamborghini Countach on Barcelona GP here. The ultimate supercar from the 80s, which is why I painted it white, of course. Note the Alpine in the dash. That was like that was a big deal back then. The Lamborghini had an Alpine, and I went to a dealership. I was like a teenager, like a young teenager, way back when. I'm not even sure why or how they let me in or something. My dad must have been there. I think my dad was talking to the shop about something. We did not have a Lamborghini, but for some reason they had one in the in this like a showroom. It was a exotic sport. Here, okay, now I remember. It was an exotic sports car dealership that had like an auto shop attached to it, and we had one of our station wagons in the auto shop. So while it was being fixed or something, I went over to the fancy sports car part of it and sat in the Lamborghini. And even as a young teenager, I barely fit in that thing. I was pretty tall then, and I'm probably a bit taller now, and certainly a couple pounds heavier. Wasn't the most comfortable car, but damn, does it look nice. And it's fun to drive here. I like the Lambo in any racing game. I'm glad to see that over the past decade or so, more of the games have included the cockpit view like this, which just reminds me of sitting in that Lamborghini Countach way back when, while the salespeople watched me like a hawk. As they should have. I did not do anything to it, but I think it was one of the ones with the white leather interior too, which I just saw recently at a car show. And of course, you know, now that I'm old and have kids and stuff, I just looked at it and thought, wow, so they're gonna have... So you really can't let the kids in there with fruit punch and juice boxes, can you? That would be bad for the white leather interior of a Countach. Anyway, this track is a lot of fun. I'm not that familiar with it, and you know, like I said in the first Assetto Corsa lap, the menus and the style of the interface for Assetto Corsa is not very good compared to its competition. But obviously the focus here is on the driving. This is more of a sim racer. It's far more challenging than games like Gran Turismo or Drive Club or Project Cars. I would have liked to see them maybe hire a firm that knows how to do things like menus and a cool interface, but... Let's concentrate on the driving here, which is really good. This game plays great with the Thrustmaster, and this is all part of like one gigantic Thrustmaster Rseat Evo, whoops, off the track, racing game review. I'm having a great time playing these driving games and just talking about them and taking some requests. I'm saving all the screen captures from Twitter that you guys send me with track requests. Hey, there's no Lambo. I think the Countach actually looks better without the wing. I think I had a poster in my room, like a Lamborghini Countach poster way back when, where it had not just a rear wing, but a front one as well, because why not put multiple wings on this thing, right? It was pretty obnoxious. Anyway, I'm not that familiar with this track, but I like it. It took me a couple spins around it to start to memorize it. I really haven't quite memorized it, which is, I'm sure, part of the reason I do not come in first in this race. Also, this game is just a lot harder than the other driving games you'll find on certainly the game consoles. Although Dirt Rally is actually pretty tough. I shouldn't say that. Starting to put some more difficulty back in these games. Dirt Rally is a pretty good challenge. So if I figure a couple hundred more laps around this thing, and I will start to really get a good couple good lines and a good groove down. But yeah, it looks nice. The game sounds good. They have a couple bugs they need to work on, though, and I'm going to try to pass the Countach and the F40 up there. I'm not sure if what place am I in? 6th place? I think I get up to 4th. I guess let's keep watching and see what happens. Do I have any cassettes I can play on that sweet Alpine? Got any White Snake around here? Some Faith No More? I had Faith No More in a cassette. Nice work on the interior of the car. They should have upgradable gloves or something. I want some gloves that have spikes on them. Maybe they can add that as DLC or something. You gotta admit, the back end of a Lamborghini is a nice thing to look at. Just a great looking car. The roof is probably superior in the races, and you can when you're setting up these races, you can race all identical cars or set it by class, more or less, and it chooses a bunch of comparable cars, as you can see. The roof is a better option. But the Lamborghini's still pretty nice. I think had I just memorized this track a bit more, I would have won this, but one thing at a time. I was actually really enjoying the Spa track in this game a lot. It's one of my favorites with one of the GT cars. I'll show that in a different Lap of Awesome, but like usual, send me your requests. What do you want? What do you want to see driven in what? I wonder how much damage, what the dollar value of the damage right there would have been had I actually rear-ended an F40 with a Lamborghini Countach. That'd have been a couple bucks. I will even take some requests for games like Wipeout. Love me some Wipeout. Can't say I can get to all of them, but I'll have fun trying. When you hit the corners in this game, the wheel really throws it at you. It's not subtle. This is such a nice game with the Thrustmaster. I'm being serious. It really plays well with the Thrustmaster. Alright, let's go to the ending where we teleport into... There we go. Look at that. No ending sequence or anything. You just teleport right over there and look at that weird android dude. See you next time in a CGR Lap of Awesome. Get your CGR shirts and glassware at ClassicGameRoom.com. Classic Game Room is brought to you by Magnum Skywolf. CGR is supported by fans on Patreon. Thank you.